Good afternoon, Seawolves. Welcome to our Wednesday evening news break. I'm Bruce Pandolfo.
And I'm Nishtha Bogra. Here are our top stories for today's broadcast. Taiwan was shaken by a 7.4 magnitude earthquake and powerful aftershocks this morning, leaving at least 9 people dead and roughly 1,000 injured, according to Taiwan's National Fire Agency. At least 143 remain trapped under rubble, while over 100 buildings have been damaged, and thousands of homes remain without electricity. This is the most powerful earthquake to hit Taiwan in 25 years and prompted tsunami warnings in Taiwan and Japan. The tremors triggered at least 24 landslides, damaged over 100 buildings, and left over 90,000 homes without electricity.
And just because the scare of the earthquake is tremendous.
My mom was so scared. My mom was even crying, and then I told her to hide under the table.
Rescue teams are currently working to free those trapped by the quake, and the Taiwanese military has been dispatched to aid in relief efforts.
7 staff members of the nonprofit organization World Central Kitchen were killed in Gaza on Monday by an Israeli strike after leaving a food warehouse. 3 vehicles carrying the workers and over 100 tons of food were destroyed shortly after leaving a warehouse in central Gaza. Traveling through a deconflicted zone, they were en route to provide aid to Palestinians who are struggling to fight famine. Since the beginning of Israel's campaign in Gaza, which came in response to Hamas's terrorist attack on October 7th, nearly 200 aid workers have been killed. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated on Tuesday, "It was a tragic case of our forces unintentionally harming innocent people in the Gaza Strip. The United States, Israel's closest ally, is demanding a swift and impartial investigation into the matter."
They show the best of what humanity has to offer when the going really gets tough. They have to be protected. It's upon the Israelis the absolute imperative of doing more to protect innocent civilian lives, be they Palestinian children, women, and men, or be they aid workers.
Now, let's bring it over to Miles, who is currently at the administration building, where there's a Palestinian liberation protest going on.
I'm currently at the Stony Brook University administration building, and behind us we have a protest that's going on organized by Stony Brook for Palestine. And this protest is in response to the 9 arrests that were made last week on March 26th after several protesters deviated from an original route path from a pro-Palestine protest and brought the protest into the administration building. Now, since then, tensions have only been on the rise. In fact, on April 1st, in a meeting addressing the arrest, Maureen McGuinness was booed out the room. Several organizers and several participators were chanting "shame on you" as she left the room. So there's a lot of anguish, a lot of tensions running high in this situation. Now, with me, I have a protester right here who would like to say a few words on the matter. Now, my question to you is, what do you want when it comes to university, what do you want the university and the administration to know? What are the stepping stones to make this whole situation better? How can we alleviate this?
Yeah, so the speakers today were very clear in their demands. First and foremost, we want the administration to, at the very least, acknowledge the ongoing genocide and slaughter of the people in Palestine, especially Gaza. Then, even past that, we want to make sure that the money that we are contributing to this organization is not directly aiding and abetting this genocide. This, in reality, would manifest by simply the disclosing of all university investments, whether that be in directly where our tuition goes, or simply the pension plans that are invested to receive returns for any pensions or any sort of investment of the university. We want to better understand it, as well as strictly divest from any organizations aiding and abetting this ongoing genocide. Those are our peaceful demands.
All right, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. Back to you guys in the studio.
Abortion access will officially be on the ballot in Florida during the 2024 election cycle following a ruling by the state Supreme Court. On Monday, the court upheld its current 15-week abortion ban by a 6-1 majority, paving the path for a further 6-week ban that will enter law on May 1st, often before many women realize they are pregnant. Many Floridians and advocacy groups like Planned Parenthood are challenging the controversial law, and a fellow 4-3 ruling by the Supreme Court will allow Amendment 4 to join the ballot in November, which may extend the window for abortion access if the electorate votes it through. The ruling came as a surprise to political analyst Jim Clark.
I think a lot of people thought the Supreme Court, being as conservative as it was, would look for a way to kick it off the ballot.
The amendment, which anti-abortion advocates are criticizing for its vague language, reads, "No law shall prohibit, penalize, delay, or restrict abortion before viability or when necessary to protect the patient's health, as determined by the patient's healthcare provider." Viability typically refers to the 24-week benchmark during pregnancy, meaning that if at least 60% of the voters vote in favor of the amendment, it will all likely maintain Florida's reputation as haven for reproductive health rather than join the rest of the South in its staunch anti-abortion lawmaking following the federal overturning of Roe v. Wade in 2022.
A plane crash in Truckee, California on Saturday left 2 tech entrepreneurs dead. At 4:22 p.m., the single-engine Socata TBM-9 departed from the Centennial Airport in Denver, headed towards Truckee. The crash occurred around 6:40 p.m. during an attempted landing at the Truckee-Tahoe Airport. Silicon Valley entrepreneurs Lyron and Naomi Petrushka, an Israeli couple and parents of 3 who live in California, have been identified as the 2 victims. Although the official cause of the crash remains unknown, there was a moderate snowfall in the area at the time of the incident, leaving a flying visibility of only half a mile. Investigations are currently underway by both the National Transportation Safety Board and the Federal Aviation Administration.
Millions of AT&T users are at risk of their private data being exposed. On Saturday, customers learned that the wireless company experienced a data breach. With customer information reaching its way to the dark web, all information from 2019 or earlier was published, and more than 7.6 million current customers have their personal information out in the open. According to AT&T, contents of the leaked data vary by customer and account, but it may include users' full names, email addresses, social security number, date of birth, and AT&T login. AT&T recommends all users reset their account information, alert their contacts, and get in touch with their banks, and join an identity theft protection company to combat the breach. Customers that have been affected can expect to receive a direct communication from an AT&T in regards to the incident.
For about 4.5 minutes on Monday, April 8th, more than 33 million people across Mexico, the United States, and Canada will be able to see the sun completely darkened by the moon's shadow, a total eclipse.
Total solar eclipses occur about every 18 months somewhere on the planet. Total solar eclipses in a particular place on the planet are rare. So you've got to be willing to travel. The path of the moon's shadow across the Earth is only about 50 miles wide or thereabouts. So you've got to be close to the center line. And it's unworldly.
Long Islanders who are hoping to catch a glimpse of the rare phenomenon will experience a partial eclipse covering 90% of the sun, making it critical to wear special purpose solar filter glasses during your viewing experience.
Even 1% of the surface of the sun, or 0.1% of the surface of the sun, is dangerous to your eyes. Your retina has no pain receptors, so you don't know you're burning the back of your eyeball until those spots don't go away, basically. So do not look at the sun. Get a pair of glasses.
If you haven't gotten your glasses to safely see it, now's the time. Eyewear will be available at the LGBTQ Center, Health Counseling Lobby, and HSE Library on Thursday at 10 a.m., as well as on Sac Plaza at noon on Monday. That's all for today on Newscast. I'm Nishta Bogra.
And I'm Bruce Pandolfo. Have a great day, Seawolves, and we'll see you next time.